On the 4th of October at Wolverhampton's Arena Theatre, the Improlectuals are along. I think I've got that right. To tell us more, we have Rob and Rich. Hello!
Hello, Jason.
So explain what's going on then, because this is a whole weird comedy night.
Well, hopefully, weird comedy night. It's improv games, basically, short form improv to give it its posh title, or a bit. Whose line is it anyway? To give the title that most people would sort of understand, I think.
Only of a certain age, although that is repeated endlessly on telly, I think, these days, isn't it? But
yeah.
Improv is good fun. You can have some great nights. You can have some awful nights, but that's the audience's fault if they didn't suggest good stuff. But what can we not expect? Because we don't know what to expect yet, do we?
Nothing's planned, so there's no script. All we have is a list of games, just improv theatre games that we'll play, and then all the scenes that we do will be based on things that the audience shout out. We'll get some suggestions for things to do, and we've just got to run with it. And then wherever the night goes, it goes. It's generally a lot of good fun.
Which is good. So what sort of games do you enjoy playing?
There's different types of improv games. One that always goes down well, or a type of game that goes down well, is a guessing game where one of the performers on stage is in the dark about something that the audience know and the rest of the performers know. For example, we have a game called the Mystic, or the Medium, where the audience have decided that we're going to contact somebody from beyond the veil, somebody who's passed on, and they have a very surprising confession that they're going to impart. The only problem is the performer, is being the mystic, doesn't know who the celebrity is or what the secret is, so they have to try and work it out with very subtle prompts from the rest of the cast.
So are you really looking for audiences who are prepared to turn up with some ideas in their head they wish to share?
Well, I guess, but they don't know the ideas are there until we ask for them, basically. We don't want them to have prepared anything.
So lurking ideas?
Lurking ideas, things they don't know in their heads, basically.
Yeah, that will probably work and do it. That all sounds good. So how long have you guys been working together, and how many of you are there in the troupe? Troupe's a correct term, I think, isn't it?
Troupe will do for us.
Rob and I actually met doing improv.
And did he look as bored then as he does now?
That's my listening face.
Right, he's actually listening, which is quite good. Okay, so plenty of ideas then. We were looking for that. Plenty of great games, and so I interrupted you saying how long you'd all been working together. So I'll let you answer that question. I'll stop being rude to Rob.
Rob and I actually met at an improv gig. We were both on the list of performers, and we'd never performed before, and we just hit it off creatively. And then a few years ago, actually, Rob asked me if I wanted to do a show with him, put together an improv group. And I said, yeah. I just started running a couple of youth improv workshops, and I just got the bug again. And then Rob happened to phone me up and say, do you want to put this together? So the two of us, started the Improlectuals, and we've got about 4 or 5 of the performers that whoever's available for each night will do some workshops, see who's up for shows, and then whoever can make it along the night, we bring them along.
So you kind of improv the cast as well as improving the material. I like that.
Yeah, sure.
Pretty much. We both worked with a couple of different groups around the Midlands. I was with a group called Foghorn Unscripted for a while. We met through doing stuff with Wow Impro, who were based in Coventry. So we kind of met, or worked with, or at least seen a whole load of performers all over the UK, but particularly in the Midlands. So if we sort of want to get someone in, we know who the good people to ask are. And they've all said no, so we've ended up with some other people.
But it's going to be a great night. Fantastic stuff down there. Obviously, people always assume you go into an improv night with some sets of gags in your head. But you're not that contrived. You are completely winging it, aren't you?
The only thing that we know is which games we're going to play. We have a set list of the games, basically, and the format of the games. But other than that, the suggestions from the audience aren't prepared. We don't have any stooges in the audience or anything like that. So pretty much anything can happen. And some of the games are so freeform. There's a thing called Scenes from a Hat, which we might do on the night, which literally the audience can write down whatever they want on a bit of paper. We'll pull them out of the hat partway through the show, and then whatever they've written will spark something, whether it's a scene or just a gag. So it could be anything really at that point.
Anything can happen. It is going to be a brilliant night of improv comedy. All takes place on the 4th of October at the Arena Theatre. arena.wlv.ac.uk is the website, or 01902 321 321 to get your hands on tickets directly from the arena themselves. Give us one last sell on the night. Come on, a line from each of you. Improv something that's not funny, just saleable.
Improv is all about having the confidence to go with the first thing that comes to the top of your head, and if you're confident with that, you go with that. You're listening to other people, just taking that on board. So we'll listen to whatever suggestions you throw at us, and anything that you bring on, you'll get a chance to see something that you've written in a moment performed in a scene for you.
And I'll tell you a bit about some of the people we've got. So the Improlectuals shows are always Rich and I, with, as you mentioned, a rotating cast of performers. And for the Wolverhampton show, we think that we're going to have Nathan Blythe, who is a very talented, proper actor, who does plays and stuff. He's also very funny, but he's like great at characters and voices and stuff. And Matt Dibbens, who's another really experienced improviser, who again we met through Wow Impro, who's just very funny and looks at the world in a completely different way to everybody else, which is great because sometimes improv is about the obvious. And one of the important things I learned is, you know, if you feel to yourself you're going to say something but it's too obvious, well, your obvious isn't the same as somebody else's. Which says the first thing that comes into your head can lead to some wonderful things.
Anything could happen. So I've got to try and get Improlectuals.
That's it.
I'm getting that right, which is good. Down there at the arena on the 4th of October, come and join them. They're going to be brilliant. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
so
Jason.
much.